Welcome to Jackson Reviews, the channel where I go for the best and worst horror movies so you don't have to. I'm Sam Jackson and today we're going to be going through Victor Crowley, aka Hatchet 4. Reboots are kind of a difficult thing to explain, depending on who you ask. It's just strange. Some can be sequels to original films and some of their sequels, but not a direct sequel to the main series, such as a few of the Halloween films like the new one. Friday the 13th, 2009 is technically a reboot because it follows after the first film. But then of course, like there's Curse of Chucky, which is counted as a reboot, and that's also a sequel to the fifth film. So where does Hatchet 4 fall into this, and why am I mentioning reboots? Well, what we've got here is a soft reboot. It does follow the continuity of the original trilogy, but the tone of it is very different. It's a lot darker. This film is so fucking dark throughout. The setting, even though still at the swamp for this film, I'll hold on to the end to tell you the next bit, but a lot of it takes place on a plane, which has crash landed, or just around areas that are brand new in the swamp, and it's interesting and quite different. I liked that aspect, because I didn't really want to just see them running around the same area for the fourth time. Actor Parry Shen takes complete front stage in this film as a very obvious main character. Like, literally everyone you meet is because of him. And it's also the first time he comes back as the same character, with Andrew returning. Yay? Maribeth's fate is still left unknown, and Kane Hodder also returns for, obvious reasons. For this film though, there's not that many, horror legends who appear in it. The only one who you properly have is Felissa Rose, aka Angela Baker from the original and the fifth Sleepaway Camp movies, which is awesome because I love me some Sleepaway Camp. They're up there. Literally there. I love me some Sleepaway Camp. As well as Tiffany Shepis, who's pretty much like a straight-to-DVD Scream Queen, but hell, we'll take it. The film is set 10 years after the original trilogy, which was set in 2007, and a lot of things have changed. But, let's be honest here, it wouldn't be a Hatchet film without all the violent kills and just a weird dark humour, and this film still has plenty of both of those. Just a lot of questionable decisions. So, let's have a look at it. The film starts with a flashback sequence to the 1960s, which could have been an awesome prequel film. We meet our starting victims, a young couple who just got engaged, before hearing Victor's screams. They investigate meeting a hunter who is quickly murdered, followed by the two of them also being murdered as well, in pretty cool ways. In 2017, we catch up with Andrew, who is now selling his story for money by writing a book and appearing on talk shows, including that of his ex-wife Sabrina. People seem to think he did it for some reason, and we also meet 3 amateur filmmakers, including director Chloe, makeup artist Rose, and actor Alex, who is also Chloe's boyfriend. They plan to meet Andrew at a book signing and get him involved with their movie to make it more authentic, but when they get to the book signing, things aren't going well. We meet the god of female slasher icons herself with Felissa Rose, and she's playing Andrew's manager for some reason. It would have been cooler if she was a villain, just saying. But mostly ignores the abuse that people are giving him, and just after the group of filmmakers meet Andrew, Kathleen pulls him away for a job offer. Apparently, he's going to get paid $1 million to go back to the swamp, which he jumps at the opportunity for, and much to the annoyance of the filmmakers. Whilst on the plane, we see his ex-wife Sabrina, Austin, played by Brian Quinn of the Impractical Jokers, what the fuck, and his wife Cassie. There's also several victims, including a stereotypical gay and an intern. Oh, and both of them die extremely quickly. Bye, intern. The plane crash lands in Honey Island Swamp because where fucking else would it be? And when we're back to the filmmakers, we see them planning to make their mock trailer. They bump into a tour guide, Dylan, who is only helping them to be involved in the film. Chloe wants the trailer to be authentic enough to draw an audience, even though Dylan explains that there's already tons of films based on Victor Crowley, including a remake of one of these films somehow. Rose ends up getting the idea to go up on YouTube videos of people saying the original Gypsy's curse that made Crowley a fucking freak, that would also apparently bring him back to life. But the intern's body lands by them, so Dylan and Rose go to help the people up the plane, whilst Chloe is freaking the fuck out. We get a nice Tony Todd cameo off him reciting the curse, and Victor Crowley is officially back, according to those bubbles. At the crash site, the main group seem to be okay apart from Cassie, who is trapped under some metal, with water filling up the plane. The group worry about Cassie, and she ends up revealing to Austin that she's pregnant, and we get some great comedy horror sequences with Andrew. Rose and Dylan appear, and the group exit the plane to slow down its sinking and help Cass, until they hear Crowley and run back inside, drowning her. Chloe and Alex find a museum of Victor as part of the tour, which includes both his hatchet and his belt sander, so you know they're going to be involved. We get some very tense horror sequences showing how much darker this film really is compared to the rest, and Crowley eventually kills Alex while Chloe runs for her life. But don't worry, Crowley grabs his hatchet and ends up chasing her. The group in the plane continue arguing and discussing the situation, which is the worst part of this film, and it's also revealed to the group that Cassie is pregnant. Chloe appears and is attacked by Crowley. He uses her to scare the group, then leaves her wounded as bait, showing a much more intelligent version of Crowley from what we've seen before. After more drama, Kathleen starts having a panic attack, and as more tension rises, she runs off a plane with her phone. Austin tries to stop her, but is scalped, leading to more dark comedy moments, and when Kathleen's finally able to call the police and reach Chloe, Crowley kills both of them. Saying that Victor Crowley's now killed 4 horror legends with Freddy, and Leatherface, and Jason, and now Angela? We're running out of horror gods, guys. Due to Chloe's death, Rose gets into much more of a final girl headspace, but also due to the extra weight and after a very emotional moment, Cassie ends up drowning due to the rising water, which takes away some of the fun of this series since they've now killed a pregnant woman. It really wasn't necessary to your plot. More arguments show how much of a bitch Sabrina really is, and Crowley recreates his ambulance attack, but this time with a plane. Crowley on a plane. Crowley on a train. Dylan goes up into the pilot's chair and starts the engine, hoping Crowley will be sucked in, which obviously isn't science. The other 3 go through the hole in the plane in order to outrun Crowley. They accidentally split up with Sabrina stealing Kathleen's phone in a super bitch move, Andrew hiding before heading back to the plane, and a very awesome tense sequence to Rose, which is honestly one of the best highlights of this film. Eventually Kathleen gets to Dylan's boat, but gets a phone call, causing Crowley to find her and kill her. With the plane engine now working, Rose is chased by Crowley back to the plane, and looks like he's going to kill her, but nah, she our final girl, she good. After some more tension, with the 3 standing up to Crowley, Andrew fires 2 flares, one of which hits him and nearly knocks him in, and the other which misses badly. Rose also fails to throw Crowley's hatchet into him, instead just passing him his weapon. Then Dylan steps up for his move, since this is apparently a turn-based combat now, and in a really creepy, slightly stalkerish line to Rose, then runs and grabs Crowley, throwing them both into the turbine, shredding them and ending with the usual hatchet ending, by cutting away at the very last second. But oh no, it's 2017 guys. The movie's not over yet. We get an end credit scene showing a news report of the incident, with Andrew being identified, who a mysterious character recognises. The character quickly grabs a shotgun, loads it, and it's revealed to be Mary Beth, showing that she survived the ending of part 3. That leaves this film open to a massive awesome thing in part 5 that I'm very much wanting to see. And honestly, it's a half decent way to bring back the series, both as kind of like something brand new as well as enough old to kind of keep it going. It's kind of similar to like films like Jurassic World and Star Wars Episode 7. Definitely like half remake, half sequel, but in that way that's a little bit interesting. A lot of horror in this film was a lot clearer, and you could kind of see a lot more influence from more modern styled horror movies such as The Conjuring stuff, with a lot more of the suspense compared to just lots of weird tension. Like there were several times throughout this movie where I generally felt tense, which is something that doesn't really happen with these kind of slasher films, and honestly only really happens with The Conjuring. I like them films. It's also interesting since it had 2 final characters live, which I know it technically did with part 3, but it left it ambitious. But with this one, like, you've got both those 2 live and Mary Beth, which pretty much leaves part 5 open to like Crowley's going to try and kill all 3 of them, which I think would be cool as hell. This film also had the biggest budget once again. Just keep going up with these budgets, guys, because it keeps getting better. The cinematography throughout this film, there was no issue in my opinion. In all the others, I've had like a couple of shots in particular. Like with this one, everything's good, everything's fine, it's nice and clean, it's nice and smooth. The acting from everyone is great, and just a lot of the writing I quite enjoy. I just wish it was like a bit tighter. So a lot of the comedy in this film, because I've not mentioned it as much, it's because it's not as good. It kind of feels forced a lot of the time, and a lot of the drama related stuff, I just want to fucking slap all those fucking characters in the plane complaining like, oh yeah, we got a divorce, Andrew, fuck you. Whilst her friend who's pregnant has just drowned, she decides to cause an argument. Like, shut the it's just not good to watch. It's kind of irritating. It makes you dislike not just her, kind of all the characters who are bitchy towards her as well. And it's not doesn't really do anything for the plot. It just shows this character is the bitch trope. That's all she is. The lighting throughout the film, I also quite enjoyed, even if sometimes it was a little bit weird. A lot of the red lighting is used throughout all the stuff in the airplane, which I didn't honestly like. It was a little bit too much and it just felt a little bit forced, and it just seemed to be there because, like, blood, red, and all that kind of shit. But let's go through the 5 kills, which I thought were awesome. Number 5 not actually being a kill, it's technically just a plane crash. I just liked the fact that these 2 characters we just met that are like, oh, obviously these lot are going to be Crowley victims soon, but I'm intrigued by them. Just instantly fucked. They're dead. They're gone. Fuck y'all wanting them to die by Victor Crowley. Number 4, once again, kind of having 2 characters in one for kills, since they do kind of count. It's got to be both Kathleen and Chloe's, just because they're very dark kills, even though, like, Kathleen's is a lot more comedic style. And it's kind of awesome seeing Angela Baker go up against, like, another slasher icon. It's also quite disturbing, especially with Chloe's death, since it looks like he was going to let her live and use her as more bait. And it's like, no, fuck that, you're dead, bitch. Number 3 is Austin's kill, just because it was out of fucking nowhere. I honestly didn't see it coming. I thought Crowley would be waiting right next to the body or something, but he's just on top of the plane. Just one swipe, I mean, his fucking, like, wife or fiance or girlfriend or whatever just gets the top of his head just drowning. It's like, oh, it's the Hatchet humour I've enjoyed and missed throughout a lot of this film. And number 2 is Dylan's death, not particularly because the death was that good or memorable. I actually think it looked kind of crap, just because Dylan died. And number 1 has got to be Sabrina. Not even particularly because the kill was that good, but it was still a pretty awesome kill that I enjoyed. But I just wanted to see that bitch die, and seeing them die made me happy. I was happy to watch these people die, and it was funny as fuck. Also, just a quick mention to Alex's kill, just because it was kind of the first proper kill we saw in this film, and I enjoyed seeing Crowley fully back in action in 2017. But anyway, that's the Hatchet franchise done. I've honestly really enjoyed doing this series, and I'm really looking forward to a possibility of Hatchet 5. It's apparently going to have all 3 of those characters and actors back, which is awesome. Once again, I'm going to see Mary Beth and Andrew actually meet. Since they're both survivors of a thing, they never actually met, which I think is cool, but there's got to be a reference to her recognising him, right? And also, of course, just the interview with Adam Green stating that for the 5th film he wants to leave the swamp. I want that. Like, I've enjoyed the swamp setting quite well, but it's getting tired. You know, it's a little bit like when Jason started to go a little bit elsewhere than just the exact same lake and started spreading across and all that kind of stuff. That was something good, that was something nice to see. This can do the same shit. I'm looking forward to that. I really hope it gets made. That's why I'm generally getting this film on DVD. It comes available in September in the UK. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please try to like, share and subscribe. And I will see you for whatever the hell my next video is. Goodbye!